Chainey Harpe. I'm the monitor engineer for the Usher Past, Present, and Future tour.
Hi, I'm Demetrius Moore, front of house engineer for Usher. On this tour, we have an 852 front of house, 852 and monitors. I started on the 852 in January 2024. DiGiCo's sent a rep to Toronto, Drake rehearsals to help me get set up and make sure that I got going okay. And I remember the first time I turned on the 852, loaded my session, and I started listening to the mix, and I stopped immediately, and I called James Gordon, and I said, this desk has a sound, and this desk sounds phenomenal. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, James, it is more powerful, and has a clean, sleek sound. He says, I knew you would notice.
Being a touring engineer, it's one thing to have great tools, but you're not using every tool in your toolbox because you have the tool. You're using the tools that you need. So I use a lot of PSCs. Version 20 now has MSCs on every channel, which is unheard of.
On the Usher Past, Present, Future tour, we have 108 inputs. All my EQ and everything is done on the desk. I'm not using too much off the desk EQing and processing. Just I have a 737 Avalon inserted. Only thing I use outside of the desk is verbs and delays.
Anything you can think of that you have like more than one step, you can pile that into a macro. There's now 6 additional macros per channel, and there's macoders, which are a new thing that we didn't have before. So now you can program encoders to do a particular thing with the twist of a knob or a push of a button or both. So that's functionality that's just paramount. When everything's a push button away and it's resolved, then you can focus on actually making your mix good instead of just making a mix.
The desk performs great. My band bank is here, my vocal bank is here, and then instrumentation and effects are broken up on my right and left end. It's literally desk to the speakers, and thanks Claire Global for the cohesion system that we have out here. It's my first time on cohesion. Everything here at front of house, I'm used to. This time around, I'm taking out cohesion for the first time, and it was a learning experience. But one thing I know is my mix on a 852. So when I listen to it out of any speaker, I'm like, okay, I need to make this speaker sound like my mix.
Now that I'm on the Q852, the center section reminds me of the Q5, but the size reminds me of the Q7. So they put all that together. And I thought what was brilliant is the way it's laid out now is it allows me to stay in the center of the console.
So I'm using Fourier. What I love most about it is how I get a latency per channel. When I put a plug-in on it and when I start stacking them, it tells me what my latency is.
The one thing I appreciate about having the Quantum 852 is the dual loop. The dual loop section allows me to patch my outboard processing into an independent loop. So I don't have to be on the same network with the front of house console so that the dual engine redundancy is built in. So I think that's a huge thing for me. My production manager loves it because I don't have to go in there and say I need 2 of those.
People have come to me and said the show sounds amazing. I can't say it's all me. I think it's 50% band and artists, 25% me, 25% 852. It's a collective to get the mix where it is.
I have an artist who has 7 copies of his mix. Quite a few people all listen to the same thing the artist is listening to. I also have a band. They all have their own independent mixes and everything else. Within that talkback group, if they're just talking and laughing and cracking jokes and nobody's asking me for something, they're sitting pretty. And every once in a while, I'll ask my artist, everything good? You need anything? No answer is the right answer. I used to always tell if it's the guitar player's wife, because she'd be the one that asked for more guitar. And if it was the bass player's wife, guess what she asked for, right? So when nobody's asking for anything, I think I'm okay. I think I get to mix another day.
One thing about DiGiCo is you definitely 100% get a personal touch. James Gordon, I've woken him up at 3 a.m. and asked the question. We've been in London since March 10th. DiGiCo sent 2 people out when we were in rehearsals, went over some Fourier stuff, Then when 20 came out, they sent 2 people here to update my desk here at the O2 Arena. So support is something I always get from DiGiCo. Anytime, anywhere, any hour.
Having a company like DiGiCo, who, if you don't know who they are, they're known for great products, but all of us that use it, they're known for great support. You just have to have the two. It's hand in hand. Technical, knowledge, support. You can't have one without the other. It just doesn't work. When you marry that up with Claire Global, now you can have all that wherever you go in the world. Like, it's really a no-brainer.